Hi, this is Kimberly Nagel, business coach and owner of Upgrow Business International, where we help women start and grow profitable businesses that they love. I'm so glad that you decided to download this break-even analysis workbook where you can analyze your pricing, your operating structure, your cost of sales, and make some very important decisions in your business. I'm going to show you how to use the spreadsheet and give you a sample. All of your numbers are going to be unique, and I want you to just jump right in there and play. A little tip when you're using downloadable spreadsheets is to save yourself a copy on your desktop. That way you can feel comfortable just to jump in and play with numbers. If you're not proficient in Excel, don't worry. If you make a mistake, you just go back to your saved copy. Do not be afraid of it. That's just one thing I want you to know. Do not be afraid of it. Jump in and play. So let's dig in, and I want to show you how to use this spreadsheet. I'm going to share my screen and get you started. Your workbook is going to open up with 4 tabs. It'll open up to the personal budget spreadsheet. Then it's going to open up to operating expenses. Click on the next tab, and you'll see variable costs, which are your cost of sales, and it will also then give you your break-even formula when you're done inputting your numbers. Your personal budget starts out with your committed expenses and your current decision expenses. Committed expenses are those bills that you pay every month, regardless. You've made a commitment to pay your rent, or you made a commitment to pay your mortgage, and that amount goes in here. To enter data into any cell, just pull over, click on the cell, and then you can begin to type in and modify any of this information in this column, add additional expenses, and then put your numbers in by clicking on the cell and change your numbers here. So, for example, I'm going to eat only beans and weenies next month. Change the number. If something doesn't apply, just simply put a 0 in there. Get rid of all your 10s by just turning them to 0s. The spreadsheet is going to auto-calculate the total of committed expenses, the total of current decision expenses, and it's going to give you a total personal budget. The next decision you need to make is what percentage of your household you need to cover for your personal family. So you might be the primary breadwinner. If you are, put in 100%, put in 80%, put in 50%, whatever percentage of the family budget you are planning to or expected to cover. This will give you the required income from this business. In this case, it's $4,000. If I put in, just undo that. See how easy it is? If you make a mistake, just go to undo, by the way. Put in the total. If it's 50%, put in 50%, and it'll auto-calculate the change. I'm going to stick it back to 100%. And then I'm going to make another decision. And this is my owner's discretionary income. So I need to contribute $4,000 every month, but I really want to get paid $5,000 every month. I might be quitting my day job, and this replaces my income. This is what I feel valued at making. Whatever that number is, should be realistic, but it also should say a lot about your value. You've completed the personal budget. Now move to operating expenses. Operating expenses are like your family budget, but for your business. I always tell business owners, if they can run a really good family budget, they can run a business budget. Even if you've never had any financial experience on the business side, if you can do it on the personal side and do a really good job, translate that to the business side. So I've given you a list of potential expenses that a business might incur. Go ahead, and here again, you can change any of these. You can add additional expenses down here. and make this list your own. Under the annual operating expenses, you are going to put in what the total annual budget is for this particular item. In this case, it's accounting, $6,000. It'll auto-calculate that that's $500 a month. Now it's giving it a flat fee across the board. Some things may vary as you go, but for right now, we're budgeting. So fill in all of your operating expenses, and it'll give you an annual operating expense budget of $108,900 a year, or $9,075 a month. Variable expenses is your next spreadsheet, so click on that. And variable expenses are what it costs you to make your sales. So if you are a potter and you're making great pottery, you would have clay, you would have paint, you would have other expenses that go into making a great pot. If you are selling a service, let's just say you own a housekeeping business, you might have the cost of household cleaners that go in here and so forth. For every hour of service or every particular item that you are making or selling, you have raw materials or inventory, and you may have some labor. You may have packaging costs if you're shipping out those great pots, or you may have commissions that you're paying to people. Whatever your expenses are for the actual sale of your product, this is the spreadsheet that you're going to begin calculating this at. Now, if you're owning a retail store, this becomes more inventory than it is actual individual product pricing, even though most stores will have individual cost of sales, so you know where your profit centers are. In this scenario, I'm just going to say that this person is a consultant, and a lot of people think that, well, geez, consultants don't have expenses. Well, variable expenses, and they do. Most of them do. When I hand somebody, maybe it's a folder of information, or I bound a report for them, and I haven't necessarily factored in the cost of giving them that report, per hour, I need to know what my expenses are. So in this case, I put in $10 for every hour that I provide service. That's about what it costs me to provide that service. Now, in this scenario, this person's been told that they can charge about $75 an hour. That's about, that's about what people are going to be willing to pay you. And she's just going on that number in the beginning. So put in $75, enter that in, minus that $10 for every hour served, gives $65. And this $65 is the amount of money that will go toward paying those operating expenses and you. This equates to an 87% gross profit margin. Now, if you are a retail store and want to use this same variable cost spreadsheet, you can just simply go in and put in, let's just say you have a 100% markup. You would have a 50% gross profit margin. I'm going to leave it at my 87% for today and move to my break-even formula spreadsheet. It has auto-populated my operating expenses, both monthly and annually. It has auto-populated my owner's discretionary income and given me what kind of cash I need to lay out is here. My price per product is $75. Cost me $10 to deliver that product or service, gives me my $65. All of these areas are auto-populating for you. That total cash need of $168,900 is then divided by 65. And this tells me that I need to have 2,598 hours, billable hours, to break even. Now, if you know the number, it's 2,080 is a full-time job. Very few consulting businesses are going to be able to have over 100% in billable hours of a 40-hour a week job. It's just not possible. So this number, when we start to look at this, the first question I would ask is this possible? Is this doable? What does this mean? How many clients does this mean? And so forth. If this was products, if it's a $75 product, can I really sell 2,598 of those products? This also calculates how much in total sales based on that price I would need to make. And in this case, it's $194,137.93 that I would need to make. Now, is it possible to bring in $16,000 a month? These are all questions that you will begin to ask when you get your numbers. Now, let's just go back and look at what a change in price would do to those numbers, because this is where you can manipulate your price. After a little bit of research, let's just say that our business owner here has decided that 75 is really too low. In the market with the people she wants to work with, their expectation is to pay more, and their willingness to pay more for quality work is there. So she's going to change her price to $125 an hour. Her variable expenses don't change, and now it's 1,468 billable hours with the same amount of revenue that needs to be earned, but for only 1,468 hours. Is this doable? That will be the next test you keep asking yourself, and that's why this spreadsheet is great for playing. I really appreciate that you've taken the time to join me today and learn a little bit more about operating this workbook. And I just encourage you to take us up on another free opportunity, which is to take me up on a free 30-minute coaching call. I would love to talk with you. I'm happy to discuss this workbook with you if that's your topic you would like to discuss. We can discuss whatever we can get into 30 minutes, we can cover. So again, thank you for downloading this, and I look forward to hearing from you.